Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock market's opening action, the early deals, and what is the trend that you're spotting in another week, the start of another week as well. Are markets headed higher? Or there may be headwinds that the markets will be facing this week that may keep the stocks and sectors under pressure. That's the question. Well, let's look at first the opening action, and then we will delve into the details of how the markets are reacting to the big bang earnings over the weekend. Reliance Industries, ICICI Bank, Infosys, all coming out, the heavyweights coming out with their earnings right here. So let's talk about the opening. Of course, the opening happened on a lower note on the back of the weak global cues. The US markets had ended lower on the back of weaker earnings being reported, and Asian markets were mixed as well. The Sensex opened lower, right now trading even lower, 0.4%, in the red right now, 55,826. That's the level. Remember, on Friday, we've of course seen six straight sessions of gains for the markets last week. And on Friday, we did see the 56,000 level being crossed on a closing basis as well, but the markets are turning lower. Sensex down by 245 odd points. The Nifty as well down by 0.4%, 16,652 currently. So below that 16,700 mark that we were celebrating back on Friday. What's still the silver lining today in the markets? It's the Nifty Bank that's up about 0.3, 0.4% in trade. The Nifty Bank is trading at 36,867 at the current levels at 128% gain, 128 points of gain. Now, which is the biggest gainer on the index level today? Surprisingly, it's Apollo Hospitals, 2.5% uptick right there. The biggest loser, no surprises there. Reliance Industries down by 3.5% at 2414. That's the sharp fall that you're seeing post the Q1 earnings that have missed the estimates on the profitability front. Although the numbers of the revenue continue to be on the upside and growing, but the missing of the estimates on the profits is something that Reliance is reacting to on the downside. Of course, Reliance has also indicated there could be the global slowdown that we may be headed for, and the oil refining business may come under pressure due to that. The Nifty Metal Index is the best performing index in today's trading session. When you talk about the sectors, it's up about 0.8% in trade. The Nifty Energy is the worst performing sector, down by 1.3% in trade today. So let's first look at how the markets are really reacting to Zomato is again in focus. It has plunged to an all-time low today. It has tumbled by over 11% as the one-year lock-in for promoters, for shareholders, employees, and others have all ended today. So that's going to be a stock in focus again. Apart from this, ICICI Bank, that stock is really reacting very, very positively to its numbers, up at the top point of the day, and the stock is really reacting very on the upside. Kotak Mahindra Bank supporting the market sentiments as well. Among other sectors, what are we looking at here? We are looking at, in case if we look at the oil and gas index, that's down by 1.5%, and it's all Reliance Industries versus the other stocks and the other sectors right now. One big heavyweight really dragging the sentiments. Ultratech Cement, another stock that is dragging the sentiments right now. Tech Mahindra, Infosys also down, but after earnings as well. So 0.6% down in trade. Sun Pharma, TCS, Nestle, HDFC, ITC. So it's the pharma companies, the tech companies, Reliance Industries, Ultratech Cement, and some or the other pharma companies also dragging the street at this point in time. Remember, we are also headed for a big macro week, because this is the week when we will be also witnessing the US Fed, rate hike happen. There is an estimate of 75 basis points to 100 basis points kind of an interest rate coming in. So the FOMC meeting, global investors will be keeping an eye out on the outcome of the two-day Federal Open Market Committee meeting during July 26th. That starts tomorrow and ends a day after tomorrow as well. And so that's going to be extremely important. Commodity prices, crude oil has really cooled down to $96 a barrel over the last week. So many are cheering this, as this may ease inflation, but what this also may indicate is the slowing down of the demand in the global economy. FIIs seem to have renewed their buying interest in India as they turn net buyers on a weekly basis for the first time after several months in the last week. purchasing sales worth more than 4,000 odd crore rupees. But again, on Friday, they were net sellers. So keep an eye out on all of these factors as well. Nifty technically, what's the outlook right there? So the experts do believe that the market is in a bullish momentum. However, 16,800 is an immediate hurdle for the Nifty. Around that 200 DMA, around 17,000 will be the next critical hurdle, and therefore this range of 16,800 to 17,000 zone will be a sacrosanct supply zone that we can expect some profit booking. However, decisive move above 17,000 may actually lead to a strong rally on the market. So on the downside, 16,500 immediate support, and then 16,340. That's what the experts are really talking about as far as the technical levels of the markets are really concerned. Apart from this, of course, what's really going to be extremely important for us to understand is how do markets react to these individual earnings and the stocks that have reported their earnings. Like we talked about Reliance Industries, your revenue was up by 5.7%, EBITDA was up by 21%. Geo has reported a revenue growth of 21% on a year-on-year basis, but the stock is down on the back of the miss on the profitability. ICICI Bank, that stock is in the green because net interest margins are at a 30-quarter high. The NPAs are at the lowest on in 30 quarters. So that's really fueling the kind of sentimental up move on ICICI Bank. Naveen Fluorine, another stock that came out with its earnings, revenue up 23%, margins up by 100 basis points on a year-on-year basis. Again, the stock in the positive. BEL, the stock again is going to be in focus today. It has signed a 250 odd crore rupee contract with the Defense Ministry for anti-submarine warfare. That stock would be in focus. Apart from this, SRF is the stock of the day for sure. Very, very positive trend up is being seen on SRF today on the back of how brokerages maintain a positive stance. There's going to be a positive trend in the fluorochemicals to continue as well. Apart from this, on the downside, which are the stocks that you're seeing? Zomato, of course, we talked about. Apart from this, PB Fintech, your IT systems were subject to some illegal and unauthorized access on July 19. So some news flow on the negative side on the governance front. Yes Bank, another stock that is on the downside as well because slippages have again risen. The earnings are below estimates and net interest margins have declined to 2.4%. Granules is in focus on the downside as US FDA has made six observations. So therefore, definitely some pressure right there. Kotak Mahindra Bank, another stock is in focus where NIM at a 32-quarter high, profits, however, below estimates at 2,071 odd crore rupees. So these are the stocks that are being in focus right now. As we move forward, of course, markets will be reacting to, like I said, macro level, the US FOMC meeting on the interest rates, the FII flow that will be important to track, the global cues, and of course, the kind of movement that we see in individual stocks. So a lot of auto companies will be coming out with their earnings this week. Maruti Suzuki, Bajaj Auto, Ashok Leyland, these kind of companies will be reporting their earnings. And of course, this will also be the week when we will see the F&O expiry. So all of those factors will be very important to track as markets will be reacting to all of those very, very keenly. So keep an eye out on all of these factors and we'll keep in focus all of these points and keep helping you navigate through all of these factors as the markets trend downwards right now in the early trade. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now, but stay tuned on to Business Today TV. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you get all the updates and all the dope on what exactly is happening in the stock markets.